It was never about code, it was always about marketing. A few months ago, when I said vibe coding is over, a lot of people were pretty hateful. If you have this multi-million-dollar idea for a blue and purple to-do list app that's gonna revolutionize the world, you better hurry. For a while, vibe coding was promoted as the future of building products. It empowered a specific kind of people, the idea people. So not just the boring coders, the visionaries. So everyone who skipped the coding classes donned a black turtleneck and then made this famous pose. And idea people started doing what they do best, which is outputting ideas, and that verified a lot of them. But since I technically am one of these people as well, then so did I. But I can't be fully credited as a typical AI bro idea person, because when I started designing in 2001, you actually needed to know how to do the front-end code, because a designer was a person who codes the front-end. So I know a little bit of coding, I understand code, and my vibe coding is slightly more controlled. My vibe coded apps got a couple thousand users, especially Longevity Deck at around 5,000 to 6,000 people. But that is not the norm. Nearly all vibe coded products end up in one of the two fates. The most common fate is limbo. So you are an idea guy working on your awesome idea, and then as an idea guy obviously you get another awesome idea, so you switch your time and energy from that first idea to the second idea, and then you try to juggle them a little bit at the same time, but then you realize that your second idea is actually way better than the first idea, so the first idea just got sunset. And I'm also guilty of that, because even though I did release 2 products already, I have 3 or 4 more that I started and never get around to actually finishing. And these are all ideas that I still think are valid. So yeah, lots of ideas, and they're all nearly there, with nearly being the keyword here. But I know of people who have dozens of unfinished projects and they don't see any problem with that. They build in public, they share their prompts, they share their journey, and there is nothing at the end of it, which might make sense because it's all about chasing the rabbit, right? Not actually catching it. But the thing is that it's a rather expensive hobby. You are spending both money and time, and if you're anything of a serious vibe coder, or like half serious, you're spending at least $100 a month on AI subscriptions. And that 100 roughly translates to 4,000 in the actual worth of the tokens you're spending. That number is important, and we're gonna get back to it. Truly psychotic vibers have multiple $200 licenses with agents running in loops all at the same time, doing God knows what, and there's still nothing at the end, so they are spending way more. At the low end, you're spending $1,200 every year on what exactly? Because in most cases, for most people, nothing is actually being created except more lines of code that will never see light of day. So you've been duped into thinking that you are super productive now, but there is nothing productive about actually not getting stuff done. So you are doing things, but nothing gets done. But there is another, even more important cost, and that is time. Vibe coding can be pretty addictive, and there is this fake productivity feel that all vibe coders get. That feeling like they're accomplishing so much, even with nothing to show for it. I've heard people prefer vibe coding to watching movies or TV shows or any kind of social interactions. So when you combine the cash cost with the sunk time cost, you end up still with nothing to show at the end, but the year goes by in a blur. That means grass not touched, social events not attended, and still no app. Instead, you get bad posture, the famous shrimp coder thing, and you get nervous tics from pressing 1 in Claude Terminal to approve another action. And I've heard of people who are actually timing it just right, so when it's done frolicking or whatever it does, they press the 1 key before the instruction even fully appears on screen. That's like an instinct game of whatever. And all of that for a non-existent product. or 20. And most recently I added both of my best-selling books as part of the Squarebug Blueprint, which pushes well over 1,000 pages of content, and we're adding some new chapters like digital independence, so how to run your own Git, your own Apache server, your own local AI models, and a lot more, and all about ambiguity and abstraction in landing page design, so you can explain it to the client in a way that's gonna bring you more money, more trust, and more long-term respect. Link in the description. But the other alternative is even worse. You finally release your vibe-coded app into the world, and then not even mom downloads it. 0 users, 0 downloads, 0 sales, 0 interest. And sure, there are examples of popular tech bros releasing stuff, but the thing is that most of them were actually real coders before that. They also have huge followings, so a lot of the people downloading and paying for their apps are different vibe coders who just want to kind of show up in the comments and promote what they've built. So it's not the same for the regular people. This Reddit post has been trending for a while now, but it's really nothing new because this problem existed before vibe coding, but vibe coding did something to it. Because the most popular comments under the tweet connected to this thread are basically like AI responses over and over. Like, code was never the problem, distribution is the problem, or marketing is the problem, or it was never about code, it was always about marketing. But the thing is that it's not about code or marketing or distribution anymore, because people in general don't want apps, people don't want SaaS, people don't want to pay another subscription for a product that barely does anything. And most products are like that. There are no revolutionary vibe-coded products out there. It's all actually simple apps that might solve some problem, but it's nothing really relevant in the long term. And there is a third way, obviously, which is building apps for yourself. And that is the way that now, seeing that vibe coding doesn't bring you money and wastes your time and wastes the energy and wastes your money, all those AI bros are now saying, yeah, but I'm building apps for myself to solve my own problems, so take that. Yeah, you are. But the problem with those self-built apps is that they have single to low double-digit improvement of your life, and you still need to maintain and manage them, which basically looks like this. You are pretty happy about it for the first few weeks, and then you stop managing, and then the app breaks, and then you forget about it completely, and you still wasted all that time, but you also send your know-how and algorithms to a frontier model that can later replace you. So congratulations, you are the winner here. And I can speak to that as well, because I actually coded my own app, both Longevity Deck and that bars fasting tracker, exactly for myself. But it's a little bit different because in my case, these products are not coming from a monetization perspective. They are passion projects, they are part of my lifestyle, and this is what makes me motivated to actually work on them. Most vibe-coded products are not like that. Most vibe-coded products just die silently when you lose interest. And if your app just boosts a single process in your company at a cost of giving the knowledge away by 17%, you're not winning. Accept it. People also don't want to subscribe to another SaaS product because of where the economy is. We got SaaS fatigue, and there are apps that have absolutely no reason to be paid monthly, and at the same time most of the big AI products, like the big chats, are ingesting different apps or different app ideas, which was predictable. So instead of buying yet another app to do something, we constantly hear about it being integrated as a functionality into the chat itself. So nobody needs your app because the Anthropic one or the OpenAI one already does what you do. So we have a lot of apps that nobody cares about, we have a lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted money, and it was still all subsidized. So the real cost of vibe coding is around $4,000 to $8,000 a month. And at that price, it's probably better if you just hire a developer. And once the market catches up, and once those companies cannot subsidize your pro plan anymore, then this whole thing will completely collapse, fall apart like the house of cards that it is. So if you're still in build mode, I suggest you hurry up. And this is also why I pushed all of my apps to a point where I can safely manage them with either local models or without AI at all. Because vibe coding, as we know it right now, yeah, it is over. See you next time.